Životom i primjerom možemo svjedočiti drugim okolo nas.
You see, Our Lady is not asking from us, you know, to just to talk about these things, but we're supposed to testify with our life and with our example to the other people.
All I want to do in my life now is do good. I wasn't an angel when I was younger. Since I've started coming out here, all I want to do is good. All I want to do is help people. I want to help people up the mountain. I want to help old age pensioners, the people that do struggle over here. And there's a lot of people that do. There's a lot of elderly come over here. And I know that Our Lady's given me that gift to do that. And I love doing it. And it's Medjugorje has done this to me.
As the number of pilgrims grew, so too did the number of sightings of strange phenomena, such as the sun spinning in the sky and Mary appearing in strange and wonderful places.
I don't expect to come out to Medjugorje and Our Lady to appear to me. As soon as I get here, I know she's here. I can feel it. You know, I can feel her presence here. I can just feel the love here. And yes, you do see the sun spinning and you hear different stories, but each individual has their own different story. I've heard people coming out with cancer, going back home again, going for their checkup, cured. I've heard people who have seen angels coming down the mountain, people helping them down the mountain.
My name's Paul McCullough. I'm 62 years old, coming to 63. Most of my life I walked through it in darkness. And I used to remember the song, "We're Gonna Party to 1999. And I was making sure that I was partying to 1989.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for sinners, now and the hour of our death. Amen.
After reluctantly attending a prayer group, Paul turned his back on his old life and took a new path, a path that would lead him to Apparition Hill.
I came to Medjugorje with my wife and a friend called Jim McGreevy. And Jim McGreevy's sister had just died, so he's had a hard time, so I put my arm around him. But he was taking a bad then, like, and we started praying going down the mountain, but I realised as we were walking down the mountain that he was still looking in front of him, because I was watching where my feet were going. But he was in such pain and in a trance, he was actually looking straight out in front of him. And you know what it's like, there's rocks everywhere and holes, and you just gotta look where you're going. And I stopped him and I said to him, "Can I ask you a question, Jim?" He said, "Have you ever looked down at the ground coming down there?" And he kind of came out of a bit of a trance. He says, "When I think of it, no, it haven't." I says, "Would you do something for me?" He says, "Yeah." I says, "Turn around and look behind you." And he turned around, he says, "My God, I didn't come down there, did I?" I says, "Yeah, you did." I says, "But I think you were carried down. I don't think you walked down."
We would hear on a daily basis, you know, about the sun spinning, the host coming into the centre of the sun, the cross disappearing on top of the mountain, Our Lady appearing on top of the mountain. But that's maybe what the Lord needs to do for them. Maybe that's what they need to begin to rekindle their faith, or begin to realise that God can do so many different things. And that's the way I like to look upon it, that the Lord can do anything.
For those pilgrims who experience the Medjugorje phenomena, the effects can be overwhelming.
I had been sitting for a while and I was thinking of my niece who wasn't well, and was just removed. Just like I thought, you know, I was saying something because I look out and I would see the mountain, I would see the cross, and I thought it's disappeared. And I kept seeing this white thing, and I thought it was my imagination, you know, just a small thing at first coming up the mountain. And I kept sitting there and I was writing, and I stopped writing thinking about my niece. And I'd been writing about other people, and I looked over and I thought, God, will I say something because I feel stupid? And then I said, Teresa, have a look at this. I said, there's just something there. It's like the Eucharist at first, I thought. I said, but it looks like Our Lady. And Teresa came over and confirmed it. We kneeled down, we did the rosary, and then the cross started coming, and I thought, gosh, did I really see that? But I know I did, and I got her to confirm it, and she said it's clear.
I don't know, it's just something changed within our hearts. It hasn't. We can't. I just can't. I can't explain it.
You never heard nothing.
There was no words or anything. Just we knew the cross had disappeared. We knew Our Lady was there in front of us. We saw the mountain, the clouds dancing behind her, and Our Lady was. I said, Bernie, she's moving, and she said yes. It was just excitement, and the tears, and the sobbing, and the crying, and we just said our rosary, and that was it.
With the Church casting serious doubts on the visionaries' claims, the Franciscans ironically turned to science to prove their authenticity. The results of these scientific tests would divide opinions even further, as they concluded that the visionaries were not simulating their experiences, and that the apparitions were neither dreams nor hallucinations. But still the Church remained unconvinced.
They've all gone through the testings and probing, and during the course of the ecstasy they've prodded them with needles, and they've never moved, the eyes never flinched, so they didn't feel anything. So, I mean, it's well documented. Nothing is ever detracted from what they said. It's always been the truth.
Papa mi je rekao,
Holy Father told
čuvaj
me,
mi Medjugorje.
look
Čuvajte
after
na
Medjugorje,
Medjugorje.
look after
To je
Medjugorje.
proročki rečeno.
And these were the words of the
Ja sam ga
prophet.
doslovno shvatio.
And Father says, I took that literally.
Jer Medjugorje ima svoje neprijatelje,
Because Medjugorje has
zašto jer se tu
enemies.
događaju obraćanja.
Because there are so many conversions
Jer
happened
ne
in this
zaboravimo da
village.
ima neprijatelj koji sije kukolj.
And you always have to understand that there are people who are enemies and who are trying, you know, to distract us from this or that.
I talked on the bus for 3 hours coming down about Medjugorje and about prayer and about why we're coming. And there was one man there sitting on the bus. And I got off the bus, he says, I would need to talk with you. I said, certainly. I know what the story was. He's 76 years of age. And he hasn't been in a Catholic church or near a church for 60 years. So I brought him up to confession, and he went. As what he said to me, he felt like a little child when he came out of the confessional. His whole face was transformed. His whole body language was changed. And he felt a different person. And that's the greatest of all miracles, be converted. Father Yojo prayed with a man here in August when I was here, an American with a brain tumour. But not only the tumour was big, it actually gone blind, and his eyes were coming out of their sockets. And Father Yojo just put his hands on his head and prayed with him. He was miraculously restored to perfect sight. Now, that was a great miracle. The Lord granted him the grace of healing, physical healing. But, you know, the greatest healing to me is the healing of the soul.
Fiska had said that Our Lady wants us to go to confessions, and it doesn't matter whether you've like any sins you really need to tell or something, to still go and to talk to the priest, and that the priest is there to advise you and to help you. And I went to confessions last night, and the priest talked to me, and the isolation and loneliness that I feel at times, and which is really hard, I thought that was just my cross. And, you know, you love God, you carry your cross and He'll help you carry it. And the priest told me that no, that's not God's plan for you. God doesn't want me to be lonely and isolated and unhappy. That isn't my cross. That God does have plans for me, and that His plan for me is that He wants me to be happy and full of joy. He told me to bring it back to Mary, to tell her that I need help, and that she'll sort it for me.